Wireshark friends. In this video, I'm going to show you another Wireshark feature that I love to use whenever I am troubleshooting conversations in Wireshark. Okay, now to do this, I'm just going to open up this capture. It's called temp color pcapng. There's nothing special about this capture. It's just a packet capture of HTTP and something I was doing when I was surfing the internet and so forth. You just see it's a regular capture. I am in my default profile. The reason I chose this is that I want to be able to easily see a nice TCP conversation. That's really why I chose this particular one, but you could do this on any packet capture that has some conversation. Now, how do you find conversations? There's a lot more to this than what I'm going to say, but the easiest way is to pick a packet, like packet number 4 right here is where someone seems to be doing a get to the Internet History Wiki. Okay, I want to see that conversation. What you do is you right click on that packet and you select Conversation Filter, TCP, and Wireshark puts a beautiful and very specific syntax into the display filter field that focuses on the 2 IP addresses that fourth packet that I selected had, which was the 192.168.619 and the 66.147.244.147. Okay, it selected those, plus it used the right port numbers, and that causes us to get the complete conversation. So we see a SYN, ACK, we see the get, etc., and the conversation goes on. Okay, so beautiful, right? That's one way to find conversations. You can also find it under statistics, and you can say conversations and so forth. You can find them that way as well. All right, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is, while this is great if I know that there's something I want to look at in this conversation, I want to get everything else out of my point of view, this sort of thing is wonderful. But often there are issues with conversations based on other stuff that was going on around the conversation. So I would actually prefer to be able to see this conversation in terms of what else was going on, right? And to be able to visualize this. So there's a really clever tool built into Wireshark that, without affecting your coloring rules, will allow you to colorize conversations. So let me show you how this is done. Now, again, I'm in my default profile, so these are all the default colors and so forth that come when you install Wireshark. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of that filter, okay? And now I'm back to the regular packet capture. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that fourth packet, because I know that's part of the conversation that I'm interested in, and I'm going to right click here and I'm going to say colorize conversation TCP, and then look at this, there are a preset, well, there's 10 of them, right? Preset colors for this conversation. Now you can add a new color here if you wish, perhaps make it more bold or more bright so it stands out. But I know that there's very little in the packet capture that is using this sort of reddish, pinkish color here. So I'm going to select color number 1. Okay, and look at what happened. So the conversation is now in that reddish color. I can see it in context of all the other stuff that goes on. You can see it all happened at the beginning of this packet capture. I can also see that it stands out against other TCP traffic, which is normally just colorized this sort of light green color. So there were no other TCP conversations going on during this. That's good. Oftentimes there are, and this is the way that it helps you to sort of separate the conversations. In fact, you can, if there were 3 or 4 conversations happening simultaneously here, you could give them each one a different color set so that they stand out next to one another instead of just being painted the default TCP color in your coloring rules. So pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. All right, so how do I get rid of this? There used to be a way where you could right click again on the packet and then go to colorize conversation, go to TCP, and then down at the bottom it would have a remove option. It seems to be missing in this particular version of Wireshark that I'm using, so that might get fixed and it might come back and you can remove it that way. The other way to do it is just hit Control Space, and you can see that worked beautiful. Again, that was Control Space, and now as I scroll down you can see it just returns to the normal color for TCP packets. Okay, so this is a great little visual tool to help you when you're looking at these conversations in context of other conversations and using this colorization feature, which is temporary, right? It doesn't affect your permanent color rules in your profile. What it does is it just affects the view for that particular conversation until you remove that temporary coloring rule. So really, really nice. I use this all the time. I encourage you to do the same in your learning of Wireshark and in your mastery of Wireshark. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a little something about Wireshark here, and don't forget to capture every day.